Apologies about that. My videos are real, they're genuine, and if the doorbell goes, I do have to go and answer it. So they've hosted an amazing event. They've had enough. They're completely exhausted and really don't want to be thinking about an event that's coming up in like 2.5 months' time, Mandy. How can you make sure the one event ripples through and sells out the next event? Well, the first thing you need to consider is your audience. Some audiences that day are going to be all over social media saying this was an amazing event, we can't wait for the next one, in which case that's brilliant. That means you can give it 24 hours to sit in your dark room and drink blubber. You can sit in your dark room and drink your wine, because 24 hours later, as the traffic starts to nosedive on social media, whichever channels your target audiences use, you then go back and reignite those conversations by saying, thank you so much. What the mistake most people do is they get on the conversation, say on LinkedIn, and talk, and then it dies a death. Whereas if you go away, let them have a chat and then come back to it, I'm giving you away secrets here. Shh. What happens is you keep that momentum going. So if your audiences need a few days to get their head around the meeting, then it's different. What you do is you take advantage of whatever there is, and then you go home and do something along the lines. As you're walking around the event, you need to be thinking to yourself, who did I speak to? What videos can I create? Just thinking about my follow-up from an event I did. Sorry, told you, genuine, real. As you're walking around the event, get some nice short reels, get some pictures, get things that tell the story of that event, that make you really proud of that event. And just share one thing. Just share one thing saying, thank you so much for being there today. Really appreciated it. So I did a speaking gig on Monday. And do you think that after doing a full day's work, then a speaking gig at 9 o'clock at night, then driving home, do you think at 11 o'clock at night, I want to be doing a thank you post? But do you think I did a thank you post? Yes. Because if you're going to do a speaking gig, if you're going to host an event, you have to accept that the before and the after are critical parts of the event. It's one of the big things that many people make the mistake of. They put loads of effort into getting people on board. They get loads of effort into making sure everyone turns up, but do bugger all on the day to ensure everyone engages. Really baffles me as to why I don't think I've ever been to an event in 17 years where they have effectively made the use of social media, ever. I don't think I've ever been to an event where they've made use of social media effectively. For 15 years, well, whenever live videos started, I've been walking around events going, hi, and I deliberately don't make it fancy. And I walk around going, hi, here we are at West London's exhibition. I've done so many events here today, and oh, look at that, that's really cool. What, are you booked? Are you coming down? And what this does is it means that it's real content and it gets you remember. Don't forget that with social media, you don't have complete control over when people see things. So the more stuff you can do on the day, little live videos. Thank you so much for coming. Look at this stand. Isn't it beautiful? Come on, guys. What's your favorite? Chocolates or cakes? Or would you prefer the beer? All of that kind of thing, that engagement. Now, the irony is that I was speaking at the Institute of Directors big event last week about how to build exceptional relationships. Now, with AI being so progressive and fast in its way of doing things, us humans are being more and more cautious of what we watch. We're looking at it and thinking, I don't know, do you reckon that bear and those bunnies are really jumping on that trampoline? You do? Oh, it's real. Oh, okay, I'll carry on watching. But then we feel duped, don't we? And when we feel duped, it's a bit like, don't think I'm going to watch anymore. If it's obviously AI, we're like, yeah, it's a giant buffed cabbage man. How cool's that? It's not cool. It's a waste of time and money. But it means that our need for real eye contact and real video really matters. So make sure you get the little videos throughout the event. Then let it all die down on social media. That's when you go in again and you don't just do one post. Most people make the mistake of doing one post. Sit down and do it in one go. If you've only got time to do it once, you've only got half an hour to do a follow-up, brilliant. Do it half an hour, but post it going out over the next few weeks. Thank you so much to so-and-so venue for a fabulous event. Get a nice little reel of the food and the drink. Everyone loved the patisseries. What's your favourite patisserie? Get people talking again and again and again. Oh, would you like patisseries at our Christmas event? Or would you rather we stick with mince pies? See how we're pulling in that future event? Get that little niggle of an idea in there. People don't want to talk about Christmas before Halloween. Apparently there's a rule. I was with a client this morning. They went, no, there's a rule. You don't talk about Christmas until Halloween. But once Halloween's done, Christmas is here. I'm thinking, okay, I could have sworn there was another month before Christmas, but okay. But this is the way people think. So if you start to plant the idea of, oh yeah, they got another event, this was really good, but you don't want to lose the momentum and you don't want to lose the interest. Now, I have got a pile of stuff on my desk. Honesty time. I never have a pile of stuff on my desk. My desk is very organized. Look at it. Oh, this is mortifying. This is mortifying. I even have notes from in the car, but I have done 2 speaking gigs and I've had so many clients and I've been really busy. So this is mortifying to me. It's going. The reason I'm sharing with it is most people get back to the office and have every intention of following up with all these business cards, every intention. Oh, it was such a good conversation. I can't wait to speak to them about that. And then what happens is it goes on the pile on the edge of the desk and it doesn't happen. Now, you can't control what happens with someone else's business card, but you can control how you follow up. So when you've done your social media follow-up, most people are booking events only 2 weeks before. Now, if you want to get that FOMO, fear of missing out, going, a genuine fear of missing out, not the pretend one, oh, we've got an exclusive event. It's $9.95, but if you book now, it's £2.50. All that BS. We're not interested in that. We're talking about the real content, real like this, transparent. I know I've already got 17 booked for my event next week. I know it will fully booked. I know it'll be packed. I didn't even get a chair at my own event last month. What's that about? That is great marketing. And I didn't even have time to do any marketing. But what do you do when the business cards go onto the desk and they end up in a pile of work like that and they don't get dealt with? Now, I know that pile of paperwork is utterly depressing, and I will have cleared that before I leave the office tonight, because I know for me, I need a tidy desk, tidy mind. Or there was one member of staff who used to tell me, isn't it empty desk, empty mind? I used to say, sit down and clear your desk. The point is what can you do when the business cards don't get actioned? Well, that then has to be down to you. You then need to go and use my sales and marketing production line. Okay, so Mandie's marketing production line is a beautiful thing. It's not sexy, but it works. It really genuinely works. So if you're using, and I'm going to add a link for you, if you're using 8 to 10 of these tools, you will pick up new business. You will have people say, oh yes, I saw that event, but I never got to go. So what I did was I followed through from your post about the event and the speakers. And what I've done is I've signed up to your newsletter, because in your banner on LinkedIn, it said, sign up to our newsletter for future events that will grow your business. What? Put a banner that actually tells people to do something, actually gives them a call to action? Yes, you need to think about everywhere, every single place that somebody came to that last event from. Where did they find you? And you need to make sure everything tallies up. It's the same branding, it's the same event, it's the same message. This is what I do. This is what my company can do for you. And this is the opportunity to access us at a reduced rate and come and celebrate how to grow successful businesses this Christmas, right? So that's the next stage. So you start to create more content. And then what you do, this is where it gets really cool, you then start to talk about the people that are going to be at the next event. So I'm going to this next big event at Christmas. If you want to be in the room with decision makers, eat some lovely food in a lovely venue and come away probably with new business, right? Let me know and I'll put you in touch with the people. So I would make sure that if that was me, I would be looking at who was the most proactive in their social media, and you're going to collaborate with those people. Are you coming to the event on this day? Can I get you to post about it? I'd like to give you this. I don't know if there's the option for you to do that, but sometimes there's the options for you to do that. For instance, the business show. The business show is coming up next month. I'll get you a link. The business show is coming up next month, and some of our insiders are going to be exhibiting at that. Now, we have links to the business show on our website. Does that directly benefit me? No, not really. But it does benefit the insiders that are going to be exhibiting at that, the business show. I will tag it. If you go to the homepage of the BWN website, it's at the bottom in the slide up banner, and you can join up to that event. But they look at us and we look at them and we think, oh, we're both really good at social media. Let's look after each other. So that's the next thing you do. You look to who promoted you at the last event and how can I engage with those people at this future event. But that's not even the best bit. Then you start to do social media. Then you start to do your email campaigns. So I really am laying it all out on the line here today. I'm just in a generous mood. I don't know why I'm in a generous mood. I wish I wasn't, because I'm basically giving you hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of training and results, and I'm going to get nothing. Oh, hang on. I will get that feel-good factor of knowing that I've helped your next event sell out. If it does sell out, it will. Let me know. So I'm just looking for the article I've just written. I'm just looking for the article I've just written about achieving your goals. Wow, they're a long way down. Right, so then what you want to do, we want to get to the power letter. So the power letter is something I invented for a client years ago, but it's so brilliant. If you've met someone and you've got one of these little business cards, but they're not really taking any action, you need to write a power letter. Write a power letter. If you get stuck, go to the insiders, tag me and say, this is what I've got so far, but it's rambling. How can I make it better? I can alter it for free over on the insiders. If you want to pay me to do it, there's a low-cost way I can do that for you as well, but I can do it for free on the insiders, okay? If you're not an insider, I've just added the link for you to join. So then what you do is everyone that came to the event, you've been engaging with them for weeks now, you've got automated posts going out on LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram, right? If that's where your target audiences are, then you've followed up with everybody and you've sent an email saying, thank you so much for coming. Did you take advantage of this offer? Institute of Directors at the event I was at last week gave insiders a 25% discount for their 2026 membership. How cool is that? Again, I get nothing from that. But if it's good for my members, if it's good for people that are business owners and need and want to grow successful companies and relying on me to do it, I'm happy about that. Very happy about that. So think about how you can do the same. What can I do to ensure people that were at their last event walk through the doors of the next event? Are you having a speaker at the next event? Was there a speaker that particularly stood out at the last event? What kind of things could you say in follow-up emails? What did you love about this event? What subjects would you prefer to hear about in the future? We were thinking about doing speaking gigs on X, Y, and Z. What's your views? Anything that enables you to follow up. I would then suggest you can also do things like SurveyMonkey, free, of course, and you can ask people questions. What did you love about the event? What would you do differently? And you see, then we go right the way back to the start. Now you have ammo to go back to social media with. Did you miss our event last month? 92% of delegates said they'd come again, and many of them have already booked for our Christmas event. Not booked? You can here. You see how it all ties together. I'll leave it there for now because I don't want to overload your brain. You've got me over on the insiders. My courses all work. I am not someone that gives you a bit, and leaves some tidbits, and then expects you to spend more money. No, here's how to do X. Once you've done this course, you can do it. And if you can't, tell me. I will make sure you can do it at the end of this course. I guarantee my results. All right. So this is how you ensure that the last event sells out the next event. And I would say it's very important to remember, and someone taught me this years ago. I'll share you a secret story. It's very embarrassing. Years ago, someone said to me, Mandie, it's not about how many people are in the room. It's about the quality of the people that are in the room. And I've been to events where there's 80, 90, 200, 300 people, and it's been all right. It's been too loud. You can't hold a proper conversation. There's lots of people throwing business cards at you, and it's all a bit much. I've been at events where there's only 5 of us, and I've come up with lots of new business. So don't worry about quantity, worry about quality. Perfect example of this is when I launched the BWN INsiders in Suffolk years ago. I was very lucky to get a gentleman called Mandie Holgate, who is a best-selling author. He's been on TV, he's been on the Oprah show, and my events here in Essex were getting really good numbers every month. So I assumed, big mistake, that everyone would turn up to the Suffolk event. So I'm thinking, I need to over worry. I would always say, actually, because people have a habit nowadays of not turning up, over market events. Okay, you'd rather be in the situations where you have to shut the doors, as I did. I think I'm not going to have to do that next week, which is scary to say. I'll have to shut the doors on an event, but you'd rather have to shut the doors on an event than have not enough people in the room for what you perceive as a good event. So anyway, I hadn't overly marketed this event. I assumed there'd be 60 people in the room, as there were in Essex, and arrives Mandie Holgate with a chauffeur, right, all the way up from London. Haven't paid this man. Oh, sorry. Haven't paid this man. And he turns up, and so do 6 business owners. I was absolutely mortified. I had this huge ballroom, all laid out in cabaret style. We didn't even fill one table. It was mortifying. And I was so ashamed. I can still feel that level of shame. And I was like, Ron, I've got to pay for your time. I'm so sorry. And he said, Mandie, it's not about the quantity of people, it's about the quality. Anyway, we ended up sat around the table having a lovely conversation and basically group mentoring. And Ron said, that's one of the best events I've ever done. And he's still someone I could probably phone right now and say, hey, Ron, I need a hand. And he'd be there. How cool's that? So don't ever panic it. Tell me what you need. I love hosting events and teaching you how to get bums on seats. Let me know how you get on. You're supposed to say things like, subscribe here, buy here. I don't do any of that. I couldn't tell you how many followers I got. What matters to me as a business owner is that, are people engaging with my content? Are they buying? Am I making a difference to businesses? And the answer to all of those is yes, yes, yes. So I'm happy. So if you're not happy, tell me. Let's make things better.